Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel, Cosmic Contracts with Princess Starlight. So, today I wanted to talk about masculine and feminine energy. Now, soul, everything is energy. Okay, so in this body, even this body, we are made of atoms and trillions of atoms. And these atoms make molecules, and the molecules make cells. So we are made of 100 trillion cells absorbing and releasing energy. I really failed at science, to be honest. I just barely used to pass. But my mother, she was a science student, so she really taught me about cells and all the biological system, but nothing got into my head, by the way. So I am just telling the basic. And if you're a science student, you will understand that how a cell functions, that there is a mitochondria in the cell and in the I guess cell, I'm not sure, but this mitochondria inside is the powerhouse. It absorbs the energy, creates, and then it releases. So every cell is carrying that mitochondria. So these mitochondrias, the function is that they are producing energy, and when the cell also dies, they are absorbing their job is to remove the dead cells. They also help in storing calcium and helps in producing heat, and they also help in producing certain steroids, so they can quickly change shape and move around the cell when needed. So if a cell needs some kind of function, so they can move around. This is like the powerhouse. It's rotating around the cell and giving what it needs, and now every cell has that. So you can imagine that this body in itself is made of cells. So whether we study gaseous state, water, liquid, or solid, we are seeing that these atoms, these molecules, and then the cells, they are packed together in the solid form. In the water form, they have the space to move around, and in the gaseous form, they have more space. In the same way, we see a body, but if you put it under the microscope, we are gonna see really tiny cells and the pores. So basically, this skin itself is called the biggest organ that is capable to breathe in, because it has pores, so it is breathing in and releasing the toxins on. That is why we sweat. If we do not sweat, then it is going to be a very big problem. So we are made of these cells, producing and releasing energy, every cell. And now the soul that enters this physical vessel is made up of energy. So I don't know if you know about Peter Mount Shasta. So he went on a spiritual awakening journey, and he has met Saint Germain, and he's also a follower of Neem Karoli Mal Baba. Now what happened is that when I think he was initiated or on his ascension state. So basically, by the ascended master, he's taken above, where there are beautiful balls of energy. He describes them, and he says that they show that these balls are nothing but souls who have ascended, who have completed their karmic cycles, and they now don't want to come back, so they are living up there. So there is an entire space where souls are living just in their pure energy form, and then the ascended master shows him his form, that he is the energy of a blissful soul. So it's a blissful energy, but then his mission is reminded, and therefore he comes back. So he can be found on YouTube. His name is Peter Mount Shasta. He talks about his entire journey. So so I'm just describing the part where he described that the souls are in form of energy. Now this energy, yin or yang. Now, so if you think everything in terms of energy and frequency, as Nikola Tesla said, then remember, your thoughts begin this energy, and then your emotions, that is in your heart space, they are going to amplify it. Okay, so basically it's like a force for this energy to start moving forward, and then your actions are going to increase its momentum. That is why today, when the spiritual community is waking up at large, they are saying follow more of your feelings, watch your thoughts, because whatever you are thinking and the feelings that are enhancing and amplifying that energy, you're going to manifest that in your physical world. Okay, so our soul is made of masculine and feminine energy. Have you seen how in this society we are making these structures that men are supposed to do this? They're supposed to go out, they're supposed to be the breadwinners, they're not supposed to express their emotions. Women, on the other hand, they're just there to, they express, they're highly intuitive, they're supposed to take care of the house because they create a house. Okay, and then we have these structures placed on men and women for thousands and thousands of years. But what nobody is saying is that it is not supposed to be placed on the gender, but the energy that is in the soul, whether it is masculine or feminine, because these qualities that they are portraying, that a man has to be like this and a woman has to be like this, are the qualities of the masculine energy and the feminine energy, which is present in you right now. So nobody can be 100% masculine, on this planet at least. Nobody is 100% masculine or 100% feminine. So when these souls who are transgenders, gays, lesbian, many say it's a mental illness. I don't know the spiritual meaning, but what I feel, this is my own belief, that these are souls who have taken a body, but they associate with the different energy, and the reason they chose this body is because they really want to show to the world that everything is just an energy in them. Remember, to come on this planet, you have only two bodies, either a man or a female, but your energies that are within you right now. So like I'm a female, I am very feminine, but at the same time, there are certain traits in me that are very masculine. Okay, and these particular souls, they are choosing bodies that are different than the energy they associate with, because they are going to be examples of how different, you know that it's not about gender, it's about the soul and the energy the soul carries. So if you now understand that these structures, these thoughts and beliefs that are put on man and women are nothing, but they're not talking about gender, they're talking about energy over here. So what is masculine energy? Masculine energy is the doer energy. They are the ones supposed to go out, the go-getters, being logical, having reason, achieving, right? Do you see how it matches that men are supposed to do this? No, it's not men. It's the masculine energy that is supposed to do this. The go-getter, the logical attitude. And the feminine energy in you is more intuitive. It's more about inner you, compassion, harmony, creation, and fulfillment. So you see the tag that we are putting continuously on women, that women are supposed to be that. It's not the women gender, it's the feminine energy. And both these energies are making the yin and yang in you. So now, if you understand that both these energies, like the positive and negative, combined together, are present in you. So what are the masculine energy? What does it help you with? Now, masculine energy is when it portrays the traits of being logical, your confidence, focus, strength, decision making or taking action, risk taking, assertiveness. It's it's usually your left side of the brain. Okay, that contains your masculine energy. The energy is forceful. It's individualistic. Makes you independent. It's kind of hardwired because of the logic, and it is very assertive, dominant. It's very clear, goal driven. So this masculine energy is present in everybody. So if you're a soul, you have a soul, then it's in you. And now, what are the feminine energies? Feminine energies are intuitive, creative, collaborative, grateful, caring. So this is your right side of the brain, by the way. Creative, nurturing. They're very expressive, active, talkative, home oriented. Okay, kind. Then they they are filled with the energy of compassion, taking care. They are flowing, right? They are open, flowing, and when they flow, they are doing what this energy makes you do, follow your heart. So you want to do something that makes you happy, joyous, and when you do that, you open your energy of love. When you are on a frequency of love, you open your creativity, because then you start birthing creative ideas in your mind, and these creative ideas enhance the energy of your emotions in your heart, and then you birth that idea in the physical form. So for men, if they have the idea of creating something in work, business, right? So when they create that in the physical life, they have birthed that idea. And women, because they have the womb, they are able to invite a soul in their womb. Imagine how magical this space is, how blessed this space is. The women can invite a soul, keep that soul for 9 months, and then birth it, and the soul will become an individual. So they're birthing a new life altogether. And when I say that the womb is physically present in women, then is the womb present in male? Yes. In males, it's not physically present, but on the energetic level, there is an energy womb that is present. Because once we get out of the womb, I will do a video on womb and sacral chakra womb healing, why it is necessary, because I have done an episode of Storing Pot, in which I told you that all the emotions, energies, they're getting collected in that pot. So whether you are a male or female, You are made of those collected thoughts and beliefs, judgments, whatever that womb went through, and then you birthed from that womb. So women are carrying that, but as well as males, they are carrying it in their energy womb, but they too are carrying it, and that is why it is important for everybody to keep continuing to clear their wombs. I will share my story as well, what happened and why I went on this journey, but this is for next episode. So today's episode was basically to focus on that you are a soul, you are made of energy, and this is half and half, masculine and feminine. So when they're stereotyping the genders, that this gender is supposed to do this gender is supposed to do this, it's not the gender, they're describing the energy. And more quickly you will realize that these two things, irrespective of whoever you are, it's right within you. So if you're a woman and you feel more that you are kind of a masculine personality, it's your masculine energy. Do not be ashamed of it. For very long, females were really suppressed, repressed. Their wombs were really traumatized. They went through abuses for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. So this is nothing new. Every woman on some level is carrying a scar, which is true. But it's also true for the men in the society, because when they were not allowed to express their emotions, when you are not allowing a soul to express themselves, what do you think is happening to men? Even they are becoming wounded. That's why we are seeing such toxic masculine nature coming out, aggression, possessiveness, because they were never allowed to express. And if you're not allowed to express, then it's gonna take different forms. Yes, masculine energy is doing things on the outside. And maybe the masculine energy has a beautiful creative idea for establishing something really beautiful. But if the feminine energy does not flow, does not mingle, does not collaborate, then sooner or later, anything that is just created by masculine energy is going to collapse. And in the same way, so the example is, no matter how good or beautiful or healthy the seed is, but if I'm not going to water it with the feminine energy, the nurturing, the care, the kindness, the love, the tree might grow. In most cases it won't, but if it still grows, then how long do you think this tree, this beautiful seed that has turned into a plant and a tree, how long do you think can this stay alive? So this collaboration between masculine and feminine is needed, and at the same time, if there is only nurturing, caring, and all these feminine energies, but there's nobody to take the decision, the assertiveness, to make a plan that we are going to move on this plan, the masculine side, then even the feminine won't be able to function. So that is why both are needed. When you tap into your spirituality, the first thing they say is bring the balance. Balance. What are they talking about? Balancing your masculine and feminine energy, because when they collaborate together, that is only when a soul will become prosperous and find its true purpose. So to find the purpose of the soul, to be abundant and to prosper, the alignment, the balance needs to happen. Only then the alignment of the actual energy to flow is going to happen. What is going to happen if, let's take two people, they are in a relationship, but they are always fighting over something and they keep separating over certain other issues. No, I want it this way. No, I want it that way. What is going to happen? They won't be able, th- what they could have created together, they won't be able to create because of that rift. But if they collaborate together, that okay, you can make the decisions, I can make out the plan, you can do this, I can do this. When they collaborate that energy together, what do you think is going to be the outcome? When we see power couples in our societies, what are they representing? The divine masculine, the divine feminine together, working, collaborating together, radiates a beautiful energy for not just for themselves, but for everybody around them. They create a really divine energy. And that is why the first place I keep saying is to start with your own self. Start with your own self. Align your own energies. Balance your own energies. Because once the balance is created, it's just like the seesaw. Okay, sometimes you're going down in this energy and the feminine is rising, then sometimes the feminine is going down, the masculine is rising. So we are like, okay, sometimes we become very aggressive, sometimes we are like, oh, I'm not worth it, I just need to go and lie down. Do you see that? Sometimes people, all of us are doing that. I still do that in spite of being on this path, changing things. I know this healing journey for me is going to be it's going to be a lifelong journey. It's not like I woke up, like my spirituality awakened, and then within a few months I figured everything out, and now I'm just here and doing this episodes and I've cleared everything. No, I am still in the cycles of karma. I still need to clear things out of me. But with little every day, the things that I started changing in my life, I started to see the flow. I will come back and share my story of where I started feeling I reached a point in life where I clearly knew that all the areas of my life were blocked. And I could just feel like there's a huge block blocking all the areas of my life. And the flow wasn't happening. And today, I can say that I cannot say that the flow is really like, like a stream or a river flow, but it's flowing. Every day, I wake up with this thought that today is a new day. Today, I'm going to learn something new. And it happens. Okay, so how you're going to balance that? I'm going to just give you very few general ideas. You might have your own teachings or you must be following something else. Remember, there is no right or wrong. Do not judge. And every day, as I said, you learn something new. Keep doing that trial and error. That's fine. Trial and error, that's good. That means at least you're trying something to do with your life, to improve your life, to improve your spiritual life, to ascend on that path. Like Martin Luther said, you can run, you cannot run, walk. If you cannot walk, then crawl. Because even if you're crawling, you are reaching someplace, you're moving forward, right? So it's okay. Even if you're failing, do not rush the process. The world has continuously taught us that, oh, by this age, if you do not achieve this, then you're a failure, you are this, you are that, you're unworthy. But look at from the point of view that you're a soul. And this is just one of the another classes, another life. And in the spiritual world, in the divine's eye, we are just children. Children get naughty, but parents still forgive us and they give us opportunities. So the world might say, no, there is no other opportunity. No, you're done. You did so many things and now you're not going to get another chance. But in divine's eye, They are the parents, and we are the children. Children are like, oh, you will be judged, you have sinned, and all those things. But they are never going to judge you. There is nothing like sin, there's nothing like good and bad. Even for these energies of masculine and feminine, people generally say that, they try to put good and bad, that this is a negative emotion, this is a positive emotion. But I think emotion per se is neutral. We have seen how love can become toxic, and we have also seen how anger, that this person did better than me, can actually make you work better. It can bring you to focus. So you see that usually we portray that anger can bring destruction, but if it's put to good use, it can create something beautiful. And on the other hand, love is supposed to be so beautiful, but if it becomes toxic, then we have seen so many cases in the society of how they loved and they ended up doing wrong things. So what is happening? Emotion per se is neutral. So we are the ones putting judgments that this is good, this is bad, but it is not. It's how you use that energy. You can spend, like they said, like for the internet, remember, you have now everything, every access on the internet. You can use it for good, you can use it for bad, right? So when you start getting these energies, you can use it for good, and you can tap into your divinity, uh, and you can communicate above as well. You want to use it for bad, for the dark side, you can. But remember, the dark side is only going to bring you destruction. And the good, it's going to be hard, it's going to be tough, and at times you'll be like, oh my god, I just cannot do it. But keep pushing, because once you complete that challenge, you're never going to face it again. And you would have invited more energy of light into your own soul, which is going to be moving forward life after life with you and only you. Remember, a dark path is only going to fill you with loneliness, with feelings of not being wanted, that you are alone. And imagine traveling with that kind of energy life after life. And then in this life, maybe you had to really struggle, work hard, and it felt like your entire life is going waste. But once you collect that energy, you move towards light, you fill your inner self with feelings of happiness, love, harmony, kindness, compassion, that I am full, I am worthy, I am the God, I am the child of God. He loves me. I am never ever alone. Then no matter where you incarnate in this universe, another universe, you are never going to be alone, because you have strengthened your connection with the source. So no matter where you are, once your connection is strong, you will feel at home. So what about souls who think that, I am surrounded by darkness, or oh, I have sinned? Remember, there's nothing like sin, it's just an experience. But if you feel that in this life you have done so many bad deeds, and your connection is not there, no, it's nothing like that. It's just that because your energies have lowered, you are in a dense space. Okay, so what happens is, imagine you are having your own space, and then in the same space, like you are stuck with 20 more people in the same room. So that is what is happening with the vibration. Remember the solid, liquid, and gaseous state? I explained how the molecules are tightly packed, a little loosely packed, and have a lot of space in the gaseous state. In the same way, in the dense energies, you're packed with other energies as well, and continuously your guards are lowered, their guards are lowered, so you're just vibrating and absorbing and all those dense energies. So what happens is your connection anyhow is never going to get severed. No matter how dark you go, the connection will always be there. It's just that the connection to the source above, it's gonna get a little distorted. So what's gonna happen is, whether you will get the communication, but you won't be able to identify it, because you are not in the space where you're with yourself, with your own energy. You're constantly mingled with those 20 people filled in the room, so it's like everybody's energy, your cards are low. So when I start raising my vibration up, what's happening is, I'm firstly, remember the boundaries, why boundaries are important, energy boundaries and cord cutting, because I am making distance between my energy and their energy. And at times these other people are not strangers. Obviously strangers are there, the people you don't know, but most of them, it's the people that are in your day-to-day life. So it can be your friends, your society, your own family members. They are not awakened, but you are. So if you realize, then you'll realize that they have their own thoughts and beliefs, and that is why they are vibrating on that energy. And whatever you have accumulated so far, if it doesn't belong to you, then you need to make that space, that boundary, and then start clearing your own energies. And when you clear, that's when you invite new energies. Now this will make you understand what energies you associate with. What are your thoughts and beliefs? We have for very long lived in what will others think if I express my beliefs and thoughts. How will, especially, getting judged by your parents, because we are trying to make sure that they are proud of us, especially in my case, with all the siblings doing really well and I always having the red report card. I had this mindset that I wanted to do things the way they approved of, rather than thinking what I wanted to do, what my thoughts and beliefs were, right? Because I wanted to show them too that I deserve their appreciation, that neediness, that validation seeking, that even I'm a good girl. That little thing from childhood brought me so far that I started living according to their thoughts and beliefs. And I never made my own thoughts and beliefs, my own opinions, and I never stood in my own power. So when you make those boundaries, it's not about, oh, they did this to me, or blame gaming. It's about realizing that it's high time you understand who you are. What are your thoughts and beliefs and patterns? What you need to change in order to move ahead. So that is why making healthy boundaries is important. Listen to them, but make those boundaries that, okay, it's their mindset, their thoughts and beliefs, but not mine. Okay? So it's about making healthy boundaries, identifying your power, your personal mindset, your individuality. And then once you stay in that space that belongs to you, you have made a shield around you. And then you are clearing and inviting more, so you are gonna rise above. And once you reach above, then remember, room filled with 20. Now there's a room filled with 10, then slowly you increase more. There's a room filled with 5, then 1, then it's you. And once it's you and you've made that space, you can invite more. So what are you inviting also is important. So if I still am carrying my shadows, now again this is another topic, shadows, I can make a video. If you're still carrying the shadows, that's why it's important to remove your shadows. Do your shadow work. Otherwise, even if you go a little high, but then shadows are these emotional wounds, these darkness, these negatives, they are like weight, added weight. So how far can you fly if you're tied up, if you're still tied, if you're still anchored to that dense energy which is inside you? How long do you think you can take the jump above? Right? That is why you need to cut the shadow, remove it completely. Because even if you clear and you move up someplace, because of the shadow, you will still invite those things, those same circumstances, those same people, same kind of relationships. So when you do your shadow work and you start vibrating on feelings of light energies that I explained, whether you are looking for harmony, more harmony in your life, more peace, more happiness, more compassion, everything, you have to start with yourself. When you start doing this with yourself, you automatically are radiating that. And your heart is the radiator machine, it's the magnet machine, it's the magnet. So if your heart opens more with these energies, you are going to be like a magnet attracting them towards you. And remember, when you're connecting with angelic realms or your star being family, especially the angelic realms or the light beings, remember they are on really high frequencies. They cannot stand low energies. It will be like, literally stabbing them. Like how you feel when some person with low energy surrounds your area, you start feeling uncomfortable, or you feel like their energies are really heavy and it's going to break you down. So imagine these beings are on much higher frequencies than us. So how will they feel? They cannot stand us. Okay, so we have to increase our energy, right, to meet them. And they will only come in spaces where there is peace, where there's calmness, where you can stop your mind and get into your heart space. That is why the meditation of deep breathing. You can do it on YouTube. If you have a guru, you can ask about that to your guru. The more you breathe deeply in and out, that space between that in and out moment is the place where you find the messages coming from the angelic realms. I hope you understand that space where everything becomes quiet. No, no. Think in terms of frequencies and energies. A smooth sailing frequency with no disturbance. And that's when these beings will enter your life. They're there. You will invite them. But to make that clear connection, that space has to be made inside of you, because it will start radiating from you. Remember, your energies are radiating from you. You are the radiator, so whatever is inside, you're going to radiate it and going to attract it. So what I'm radiating, I'll attract. It's as simple as that. So I think I'll just do a little summary. The summary of today's episode was soul. That energy is made of soul, masculine and feminine. Masculine and feminine energies, their traits I told you about. And then I talked about how both are needed, and one cannot succeed or prosper without the other. Therefore, why the balance is needed. Balance is needed, that collaboration is needed to align your energies and use it to the best, to your highest good possible for your own self and others. And when you align your energy, you are making the connection to the source above. And what is happening if you go a little description of what happens if you go on the light path or the dark path. and that emotions per se are not negative or positive, they are neutral. It's how we use that energy is going to decide whether it becomes light energy or negative, or the dark side. Dark is always going to bring you destruction. Light, on the other hand, is going to be a little tough, but once you finish that tough cycle, whatever you have accumulated will move with you from life after life. So whether you incarnate on this planet, any other planet, this galaxy, another galaxy, this universe, other universe, you will be carrying what you have accumulated within, because your soul is energy, and the energies that you're cultivating within, that's what you're going to carry. So it might look hard, really tough, impossible, but everything is possible. Okay, with that, today's episode, I'll wrap it up today. I'm thinking that till now I was doing more of intuitive messages, channeling, and but recently I found that I need to explain about. I got this thought that I need to explain more about energies, then wounds, chakras. I know some, but to explain it to you, it means that putting the best piece of information for you to understand what's happening if these two energies are imbalanced, and or if they are wounded, and if they're wounded, how are you going to heal them? What is happening with the chakras? What's going wrong? All right, all these things, it means that it's going to take a lot of time. It's not going to be covered in one episode. So I'll try to make small episodes, because this one became really long. I think it's more than 40 minutes now. So I'll try and shorten it so that it reduces, the time reduces, like 10 minute or 15 minute. I'll try my best so that I can, in short time, you can have the best information about what you can do. You can start identifying your blocks, your wounds, and start healing, because every soul on this planet is carrying something, and it is high time, rather than don't express it, don't say. I really feel that it is time to make spaces where people can feel safe and secure, express those emotions, let it out, and go. Because even a small wound where people are like, oh, come on, it's not a big deal. No, it is a big deal, because that is creating a weight. Emotion is creating a weight energy, and that will always keep you stuck. So a very small example, like people just made fun of how I dress up. Okay, people will be like, oh, come on, tomorrow you can make another beautiful dress, what's wrong? It's okay, it's one day. But what happens is, because they made fun of me, somewhere, yes, I did feel bad. Somewhere, yes, I created that guilt or shame. It's more about creating, holding these energies of shame, guilt, humiliation, that are triggering your self-confidence, your self-worth, your self-esteem, your self-image, all these things. And everything is interconnected, in short. So either I can spend my time always fighting with so and so, so and so, so and so, you did this, and trying to explain what they did. Or the best is to cut that bullshit and work with my own energies and rise so high that nothing below can affect you. Because once you're flying high, like an eagle, you see everything down, but they cannot see you up. They'll just see your wings and be like, wow, how beautiful it would be to fly that up. So if you want to fly that up, even the smallest emotion that is stuck, that has caused you pain, wound, suffering, needs to be released. You'll find many out there who are going to shame you or tell you, oh, come on, just keep it to yourself, don't express it. But there are more and more of us awakening. Now there are more and more sacred groups, spaces for people to come and let it out. Okay, if you do not find it in your own family members, it's all right. Don't worry. There's so many of us out there. And once you walk on that path that you want to heal, believe me, from where people land up, I you won't even know. Like, I was going through a very traumatic event, and I really needed, like, I needed some answers, but I knew I will never get those answers from my own family. I couldn't share that story with them. And all of a sudden I went on to a spiritual, I'm a member of a group, and I went there and I let it out. And not only did I get a lot of support, but I got a spiritual healer. She's in California right now, I believe, and she immediately texted me. She said, "You just come." And when I went, I was not certain about it, okay, but I just went there. I just went, and it seems that she and me, we daily communicate with the same archangel Michael. So she said, "I am also Michael's girl," and I said, "Wow, that's so cool," because I was talking to him. So you, when you move, even if you're not certain, you will get some information that will tell you that it was meant to happen. And she showed me a different perspective which I did not see. Remember, there are infinite opportunities, infinite options, and sometimes our mind keeps us so stuck in that cycle. It doesn't want you to look up and see if there's another way out, but sometimes people can help. And even if you don't want that, remember, your soul is powerful within. I kept wishing for help. And when I got the help, I still was skeptical for sure, but certain things during that 1.5 hour session, something came up, and then Archangel Michael came up, and then we both were connected to the same dragon, blue galactic dragon as well. And I mean, from where we matched, I'm on the east coast side of US, and she's on the other side. And how we met, I do not know. And but it just changed my life. So even if you do not know the way right now, I would suggest just keep moving. Whatever you need, let your spiritual team know. Ask for assistance. Do not beg. They're not there to, they're not there to beg you. You are like a leader for them, and they're there to assist you. So it's just like a manager is there, and then there is a team of people who are there to help you. Now imagine your manager is crying and begging. What's going to happen? They'll be like, what kind of a manager this person is, right? But if there is a manager with that kind of personality of decision making, and okay, can you do this, come on, we need to do this, let's follow this plan, and I need assistance, who can help me? What's going to happen? People will be, the team members are going to be more pumped up. They would really want to help and serve. This is what is happening with your spiritual team. You need to ask for assistance, and that's why express gratefulness. Because what happens when your team members are pumped up with enthusiasm, but if the manager shows attitude or anger or is ungrateful for what you did, you feel bad. You don't want to do that to your angels, because they are really helping you. They really try to put everything, but at times, with your own karmic cycles and challenges that you have to meet, because otherwise, because of that, you wouldn't have achieved your full potential. That is not going to happen. So connect with your energies, balance, connect above, and believe. Even if you do not see a way out right now, you think it's next to impossible, it's still next to impossible, not impossible. Okay, with that, I'll end today's episode. Lots of love and light, Princess Starlight.